X-Men take out the Punisher.
Bam, Spider-Man go down. Bam, Daredevil go down. All the niggas is going down. Punisher be kicking their ass out. X-Men baby stuff, homies. All their consoles and powers ain't shit. Punisher the real dope, homie. Punisher be taking out all y'all stupid heroes. He be saying bam, 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 bam. Take out that nigga bam, 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 bam.
Crime and punishment. An endlessly fascinating subject. When it comes to punishment, mankind has never shied away from doing some extremely unpleasant things. Luckily, we no longer have cruel and unusual punishments anymore. Unless of course you consider Neutraloaf and prison rape cruel and unusual. Anyway, when it comes to cruel punishments, nobody, and I mean nobody, does it better than Frank Castle, aka the Punisher. Now the Punisher is by far one of my favorite Marvel characters. I purposely didn't use the word hero because hey, old Frankie doesn't bother with silly heroes. No, not the Punisher. He just cares about filling the ground with as many bodies as he can. If possible in the most violent way imaginable. Now like most Marvel characters, there are a ton of different versions of the Punisher. Such as Colonial Punisher, Frankencastle, and Dolph Lundgren.
If he dies, he dies.
In most realities, Frank Castle is an army veteran who is well trained in firearms, hand-to-hand combat and guerrilla tactics. And he uses these skills to avenge his slain family. He has no reservations whatsoever to kill and torture anyone he deems a criminal. What he lacks in superpowers, he makes up for with an insane arsenal of weapons ranging from simple melee weapons to high-powered machine guns. The Punisher has made his appearance in more than a few Marvel games, including a handful of his own, two of which are surprisingly good. They are the 1993 arcade game by Capcom and Volition's 2005's The Punisher. And Volition's 2005 game is one of the most violent games in existence. Definitely worth your time. But today I want to talk to you about the 93 arcade classic, made by Capcom. And back in the glory days of arcade gaming, these guys absolutely dominated the side-scroller beat-em-up genre. All these games had pretty much the same feel to them. You'd have your standard attacks, jumping attacks, and special attack that would consume some health. You could pick up a ton of weapons, usually out of some very unlikely containers, and use them to annihilate every punk, poser and pussy stupid enough to walk on screen. So the Punisher game starts with a small introduction of our tragic anti-hero Frank C, and how his unfortunately timed family picnic ended in a bit of a disappointment. Now if you needed this machine to tell you who the Punisher was, shame on you, but damn does this set the mood. The picture of the guy being suspended by a tree always cracked me up. Now I know cops can be pretty corrupt, but how much would you have to bribe for them to turn a blind eye to this crap? The Punisher and his Snake Plissken looking buddy Nick Fury take on Kingpin's gang, and oh boy what a gang it is. Now gangs in the 80s and 90s were a lot more diverse than the boring gangs we see today, but the Kingpin's gang takes the diversity cake. It's not just multiracial, it's open to different lifestyles, women, robots. Christ, even cripples can join. Maybe the type of clothing signifies your rank in this confusing crew. Like, you enter at fishnet level, and then work your way up to Surfer Dude or Leon, all the way up to Pink Suit Guy. And then there's the robots. I love these guys. What the hell are they? Did Terminator, Rufy and Spectre Gadget for this to happen? But most of all I love Fishnet Guy. Just look at this freak. Tongue hanging out from the side of his mouth, spiked knee pads, classic 80s bad guy. The bosses are pretty awesome in this game. It's a lineup of well-known enemies such as Bushwhacker, Bonebreaker, Kingpin himself, and Guardroid, and Guardroid 2. Ah, come on Capcom, don't do us like that. This is some Bumblebee cliff jumper shit right here. Bad Capcom, bad! Go to your tiny Japanese room. To combat these bosses and the rest of the cannon fodder, our homicidal heroes utilize a wide range of different weapons. Apart from the standard punches, kicks and grapples, you can pick up just about anything you see and bash your foes with it. There's something very satisfying about taking a lead pipe to Leon's jaw. Now the Punisher wouldn't be the Punisher without pumping his enemies full of lead. You can pick up an Uzi or an M16 and do just that. Whenever the bad guys decide to bring guns to the party, Frank whips out his own and blam 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 blam. Unlimited ammo, auto aiming goodness. Damn, this game rules. And that's not opinion, that's fact. If you get into a jam, you can also press both buttons at once to do your special attack. This consumes some of your health, but will kill all the enemies within range. The Punisher does this 360 degrees leg swipe, and Fury, well, it's not really clear what he does. Both our heroes have some really peculiar battle cries. Punisher's one is weird. Fire Hawk? But what the hell is Fury yelling? What is he? Is he saying Grandpa? On your way to the Kingpin's lair, you fight your way through various stages, such as the streets of New York, the sewers, and the infamous Arizona poppy fields. When you are playing, it's easy to lose sight of the surroundings, but there's a lot of cool stuff happening in the background. Look at this bus driver, smiling and giving a casual thumbs up as Frank executes poor old Scully here, in cold blood at that.
What the fuck?
This is also a good one. Look at Crispy over here, priceless. What's wrong with your fish, Fisk? I think you may have been swindled, buddy. These fishes don't move too much. You can occasionally free these women being held captive in order to get some points or power up, and there's an amazing amount of stuff you can trash to get weapons or cause explosions. Now for a kid growing up in the 80s and 90s, arcades were a pretty amazing place. And boy oh boy, that Punisher game had me coming back again and again and again. In my opinion, this game is still very entertaining today. Thanks to its comic book style graphics, the game still looks great, and to me, these type of games will never get old. So I highly recommend you give the Punisher a go. You will not be disappointed. Fire Hawk!
Thanks for watching, guys. Please hit that like button and make sure you subscribe because we got a lot more coming. Again, thanks for watching and we'll see you on the next video.